Hey loves, how are you guys? Welcome to this week's tutorial on microbends. We're going to talk about one, why they happen, two, what I have found to be the most effective way to train them, three, why they're not always bad, and how we can actually apply them to some parts of our training, and then four, my favorite exercises for them. We're going to go through 3 specific exercises and then 1 specific invert exercise. All right, let's go. All right, so why do microbends happen? Well, our rectus femoris, which is one of our quads muscles, it's responsible for straightening our leg and flexing our hip. And oftentimes, let's take an invert for example. We are trying to straighten our leg and flex our hip, right? So quite honestly, our muscle gets tired and it's like, all right, I'm going to get your leg up there, but it may not be straight. Okay, so that's why it takes very focused, consistent training of both a straight knee and flexing our hip in order to make straight legs our default and not microbends. Okay? Number 2, the most effective way to train them. I have found that 1, quality over quantity. So let's say you're training a straight leg invert and you can do really straight legs on the first one, but after that, your legs start to microbend and you try and try and try and you're still microbending. Do 1 really good straight leg invert and then go back to bending your legs and then straightening. If we practice our poses, positions, shapes over and over and over with almost straight legs, that's going to be our default. So again, quality over quantity. Once you feel like your legs fatigue in whatever exercise you're doing, stop and either modify to a completely bent leg so you're not hanging out here in the middle. Okay. Also, consistency. I have found that it's much more effective to train microbends 5 minutes every day or 5 minutes 6 days a week, whatever your training schedule is, either as a warm-up or a cool down versus doing a 30-minute microbend session 1 day a week. Okay, so really some of these exercises, if you start with just 5 minutes a day, you will notice a difference. All right. Also, it takes our focus to do these. So yes, some of the movements are very small, but if we're scrolling through Instagram or watching TV and we're doing them, we're probably going to have microbends. So make sure that when you're doing these, you're really focused, engaged in the process. You're making sure your leg is very straight when you do these reps. If you need to film yourself while you're practicing and learning, that's a great way, or look in the mirror. It's a great way as like a little spot check. Is my leg really straight? Okay? All right. Number 3, why they're not always bad. So one thing is if you have hyperextended knees, microbends can actually help when you're training flexibility. And even if you don't have hyperextended knees. So for example, when I am doing my hamstring stretch here, or even in a split, creating a nice, you rarely hear that, creating a nice micro bend, it 1, helps keep my hamstring engaged, which is important in order to find a deeper and deeper stretch. And 2, it protects your knee joints. It protects your hamstring attachments. Okay? Sometimes the hamstring attachment up here by our knee can get cranky. If we completely straighten our leg all the way and just bear weight into it versus doing a slight micro bend, pulling your heel back towards your back knee, keeping a strong engagement in that hamstring, and then working on stretching it, okay? So with the right application, not all microbends are bad. Okay, number 4, let's go into the actual exercises. Here we go. For the first exercise, either a foam roller or a block or even a rolled up towel will be perfect. Seated back against either a pole or a wall, place the foam roller or block underneath both knees. If you have a block, you can do one block underneath each of your knees, or you can do something like this, okay? So I'm going to do a foam roller. If you have a pole, you can reach back and grab. Now, we're going to straighten one leg at a time. I want you to think about not lifting your leg up, instead pressing the back of your knee pit down. So we press down and lift. 1. Okay, press down, lift. Hold for a second when you get to your maximum straight leg. Press down into your object, right? Other side, press down, straighten. Try to keep a nice tall spine, back lined up against the pole or the wall. If you're against the wall, you can just place your hands by your side. Press down with your knee pit, straighten the leg, hold for a second, down. I'd recommend doing anywhere from 5 to 10 on each side, and then work for both legs. So press both knee pits down into the ground, squeeze your quads, point your toes, hold, down. Again, 5 to 10 times. Press down, hold at the top, press down, hold at the top. All right, you should really feel your legs, maybe even your calves, fire up on those. Okay, so again, 5 to 10, left leg, 5 to 10 right leg, 5 to 10 both legs. Okay, next exercise, grab a band. Band. Again, you don't need a pole for this. You can use anything that's really steady. So maybe a chair leg from a piece of furniture or something in the gym, a rig. You're going to place your leg, grab a block for this one too. Step back to where you have about medium resistance, nothing too crazy. The first thing is going to be from standing. So we're going to keep our left leg really straight. We're going to micro bend our right knee. Press again the back of your knee pit into the band. Straighten. Hold. Release. Standing up nice and tall. Straighten. Hold. Release. Again, 5 to 10 on each side. And then we're going to do it from a forward fold. Work on keeping your back flat. Again, pressing the back of your knee pit into the band. Straighten. Squeeze your quads on both legs. Hold. Relax. Now when you relax, make sure you really bend your knee. So really bend it and then straighten. So really, we're working our legs in 2 motions. Really straight and really bent, so that we're not even training any type of micro bend. Okay, so again, work 5 to 10 straight each side, 5 to 10 bent into a forward fold. All right, next one. This next one is also going to require a band. I'm going to do a modification or more like a variation after this for those of you that don't have access to a band. So for this one, it's a little wonky to get into, but It's really awesome. So wrap the band back behind you. You're going to end up placing both feet into the band so that the band is on the outsides of both of your feet. You're going to come out into a straddle, point your toes. For this one, we're not lifting our legs up. We're really just lifting the bottom parts of our legs up by pressing our knees down. So watch. Pressing the backs of my knees down, legs come up. Hold, release. Press knee pits down, release. Try to sit up nice and tall for this one. You can even place your hands in front of you so that you're not leaning back to do this. So we're not lifting, we're only lifting from here down. Okay? Again, 10 to 15. For these, it can also be helpful to focus on one leg at a time. Again, just lessening what our brain has to figure out, okay? So if both legs, if either you're not at the point where you can get your heels off the floor or you just need to take it a little slower, that's fine. Focus on one leg at a time. Straighten, release. Straighten, release, okay? If you don't have a band, totally fine. We're gonna do a little variation of that, which is also a great one. So you can lay on your back, come into a straddle, rest your hands on your thighs. We're not pressing down here. We're just creating a nice little shelf for our hands. All right, and we're prohibiting our legs from coming too far forward or going too far that way. All right, so we want a nice 90-degree angle at the hips. And again, we're just focusing on the bottom part of our leg. So press, you can even think about pressing your knee pits into your hands. All right, release, press, release. Again, we're not pressing down. We're pressing the backs of our knee pits into our hands. Release. Press, hold, release. We're not tucking our tailbone. We're not having a deep arch. Nice neutral spine. Okay, again, 10 to 15. All right, now our invert exercise on the pole that we're going to do from the ground. Preferably a track of blocks or a mat will be helpful for this one. Your track of blocks will look something like this. We really just want to get our bum up the floor just a little bit. We're going to come down into an invert type position. Okay? So from here, legs out straight. Now we're going to start bringing our legs up off the blocks, but only very, very straight. Straight, straight, straight. If you get here and you feel good, pull down on the pole with your arms. Again, straight legs. Pull up to an invert. Come back down to the blocks. Come back to start. Okay? To modify that, you're only going to bring your legs up as much as you can until you start to get a micro bend. You're going to straighten them, bring them back down. Okay? Go slow enough so that you can make sure that you're getting really good quality reps of these. Maybe just 3 on each side. So, grab the pole in your armpit. Focus on keeping very straight legs. Straight legs. When you're ready to get your bum up, pull down. back to the blocks. All right, guys. So that is your microbend tutorial. Please let me know what questions you have, and I cannot wait to see even more beautiful lines on you guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you soon. Mwah.